Hello, and welcome back to Danganronpa Another. On our last episode, we did the first part of this trial, and, I had no idea what was going on. So, for those of you who have read my community post, or haven't read, I recorded this entire thing already. It's 2 hours. I know what happens. My audio didn't record. So none of my commentary made it, nothing. It just, Audacity decided, no, I wasn't going to pick up anything I said. So I already know everything. I debated just dubbing over my original recording because the video recorded just not my voice. But I thought that would be really hard to sync it up, especially if I have commentary I want to make, blah blah blah. So I'm just gonna replay it and put myself through the hell that is these mini games again. At least I know what the answers are, although one of them is going to be in Korean. So I actually have that pulled up in an alternate tab so I can just immediately jump to that and look at it when I get to it. Yeah, it's 2 hours. This is going to be a two-parter. We're not going to finish it in this episode. I already know that. I don't know where the stopping point is going to be. I'm going to bulk record this. Yeah, I know what happens, and I know there are people watching this who know how the game goes, who were definitely waiting to see me react to a thing that is going to happen in this trial. I know they are. And when we get to that, I will tell you how I reacted originally, but I don't think I'm gonna have that same reaction because I know it's coming now. But I will tell you what happened, and I will tell you, some of my original thoughts. Unfortunately, I can't really theorize because I know what happens now. It wouldn't make sense. I will tell you in my original recording, I actually ended up predicting how they did it super early, which I was very proud of myself. And now I can't do that because it's going to be you already played it though. You know what happens listening. Okay. Okay. Buckle up. This is a long one. Thank God I had an alternate save, because I wasn't doing that earlier. I was just doing one save, and I started doing multiple saves in case something happened, and something did happen. The audio didn't work. Okay. An impossible crime? What does that mean? It's literally what it means. The incident happened, but no one in the state is capable of causing the incident itself. That can't be. I can affirm there's no such thing as an impossible crime in this world. I agree with this. There is no unsolved problem in the world. When a result has happened, it means that there was a series of processes. In this case, how do you explain it? To assert that this was an impossible crime, you gave up on the case. There is a secret that has not yet been solved where your thoughts didn't reach to the end. But if neither Kinjo-kun and Mekaru, who always know the critical points of the case, weren't confused enough to say that, it's already a mystery that can't be solved. Shut up! Do I look like I'm panicking right now? Sorry, but it does look like that. It's been a few days now, but these days Kinjo-kun is not Kinjo at all. Just like Maida-kun before coming to the ballroom. You're being very annoying, damned criminal. She is annoying, he's right. Kinjo, why are you saying that? 'Cause it's right. It's not really like you to get emotional so easily. Ignore it. Now we're on trial. This is a life or death war. If you take care of someone who loses their temper during a war, you'll have to go through them. There's no other option. This person or that person. I'm done. Again, this case isn't an unsolved crime. Let's organize the information. Kinjo. First, even if we put on hold Teruya's claim that the crime is impossible, it will be necessary to look at the case from a different point of view. A different point of view. In retrospect, all of the reasoning we've done so far is based on Kirikawa's testimony. Let's stay back here for a moment. Has anyone ever seen Kirikawa spying on the hallway? What? What do you mean? In short, Kirikawa's testimony is not too blind, but are Kirikawa's words 100% true? She would be hungry in extreme circumstances. Would she bear with that in mind? Lastly, there could be a possibility that Kirikawa was the culprit. When that idea comes up, she could be playing with all of us. Kinjo? Hey, did you go crazy? Did you really flip around that fast? That's stuff that comes from your mouth. What? I'm talking about possibilities. At the time of Tamura's murder, during Kinjo's testimony, we put a thread on our private room doors to prove our alibis. But that was evidence that no one else knew other than Kinjo. It's the same story. It's different from that. What I've been doing at that time is what I've been doing before the incident, and this is just simply what you've seen and heard testimony. It's meaningless to contend the truth for falsehood in a testimony. Did you forget what you said? It's utterly disappointing, Tsurugi Kinjo. Even though I was thinking you were just a crazy guy, I admitted your reasoning skills, but now you've stopped thinking with your head. But since the situation is quite desperate, isn't Kinjo trying to do everything he can? Kirikawa, is there no way to prove it? Your testimony, I mean. I don't know why I have to do this. Why not ask Satsuki or Teruya? Huh? You've heard about my testimony? Teruya admitted that he entered the arsenal a while ago. What about Satsuki? If I thought it done, well, like Kirikawa said, since I'm the killer above top, of course I wandered around to dawn. Even if we ignore the backstory, Dark Circle's testimony is reliable in its own right now. If I were you, I would have known that right away, without having to do this cumbersome work. You're noisy. As long as your reasoning hits a wall, it's a way to do what you can. You admitted with your own words that your reasoning was blocked now. That's funny. Be quiet, Mekaru. You are on the same level as we are right now. Do you think you're in a position to mock others now? That's enough. How come Kirikawa can have this powerful voice in a class trial? Because the way I voice her, this, like, she just talks in like a monotone voice. So I don't think it would have the effect that it's apparently having, but it's really funny to imagine if it does. Everyone, don't get worked up. Since this is a difficult case, we need to regain stability more than usual. So let's calm down and look back again from the beginning. There must be something we missed. Sorry, as Magda says, I was getting too excited. I apologize. Then Teruya Otori is not the culprit. I'm sure up to this point. Even if that's true, we'll have to double check. Teruya, are you really sure you sent a letter to Haruhiko and loaded the bullets?
Well, yes. I'll say I still can't believe I'm not the culprit. I really didn't read the Monokuma file properly, so in a hurry. I saw the right hand ruptured, so I guessed I was the one who did it.
That probably isn't a lie. Teruya really thought he was the killer. He said a little while ago, as if confessing, he told us he was going to be executed. It's not likely, but something came to my head. Can I speak? Go ahead. An accomplice, or in fact, there were two culprits. How about it? Dismissed. Anyways, odd opinions from your brain like that. Or what? I didn't even expect it. Rubbish opinions like that. A story not worth considering. Anything like that. Just crumple it, take it out of your brains, and throw it into the trash. I love how mean she is to Akane. Like, same. That's unfair. I said that because I was just thinking in my own way. I'm so glad, like, Akane fans aren't trying to kill me because I'm so mean to her. But she's so frustrating. She's so frustrating. I've been here secretly wishing she would die every chapter and continuously getting proven wrong again and again and again. And I know she's probably gonna survive and I'm going to cry because she is the main girl, but she's not the main girl in my heart, you know? Like, I feel like, I don't know, Kirikawa just is better as main girl, but that's just me. She's just more interesting to me. But I'm Akane. I'm so sorry, Akane fans. I'm so sorry. If Churia had an accomplice, there would have been a person who objected at the time of him being accused as the culprit. Even if not, Churia would have confessed everything and made a mistake in the end. But what if there was a real criminal and pointed out Otsuri-kun as the culprit? Everyone except the real culprit dies, right? Can't you think about a development like the culprit used Otsuri-kun? Oh, you're using your head, but that wouldn't be it. Even if a culprit secretly works behind Teruya Otori to cover up his sins, it is impossible to work without him because of the limited circumstances of the arsenal. And even if there is an accomplice, if we believe using Kurokawa's testimony, the only suspect remaining is Iranami, save she can't be. Huh? Wait a minute. I have a thought that something like a flash passed like a flash in my head right just now. Now I am the real culprit. You're relentless. Why are you claiming to be the killer? Even after that, you don't know anything about this case. The more you claim to be the culprit, the more you claim your innocence. You still don't know this. Let's organize our thoughts first. Churia's not the culprit. He didn't shoot. What Churia did was call Haru by using a letter, and make a trap that explodes the gun by misloading a bullet. And the person who killed Haruhiko himself. In other words, what the real culprit did, what Churia didn't do, that is, grabbing a gun to kill Haruhiko, messed up the interior of the arsenal, and finally locked the door with the plank and the grenades. Churia doesn't know what the real culprit did. If we think like that, conversely, does the culprit know what Churia did? Yeah. No, the real culprit wouldn't know what Churia did. As Mekaru said earlier, what Churia did was unknown to anyone since he was in the closed space of the arsenal. Unless the culprit directly sees it or Churia tells them in advance. Then, who is the killer? Wait, guys. There's something I want to check for a moment. Maida? Before Kurokawa watched during the morning, from that point on, what if someone was hiding inside the arsenal? Could there be such a case? No, I don't think it would happen. Kenjo was tied up, and I saw Taira go into the room before. Mekaru. The last time she went into the empty room to the left of the dance hall, she didn't exit the room at all. When did you see this? Well, you're right. I was investigating the empty room all day long. Then, there are only two suspects that Kurokawa has seen, and they don't know what each one has done. In other words, the real culprit doesn't know that Haruhiko received the letter, and they don't know why their hand was ruptured. For some reason, Haruhiko was shot with a gun and killed. There's someone who could fit the conditions right now, that turned themselves in at the start of the trial. They entered in the suspect view since they moved at dawn, and no one else can commit a crime at this stage. But is this person really the culprit? If so, why in the world? Yeah. So as you can see, this is the worst possible episode for me to have to re-record and re-go through. Because you know how I feel about this character. And now you understand why I'm so mad. Okay. I'll tell you more later. All of you guys won't want to admit it, but I think I know now. The identity of the culprits. What, Maida-kun? You know the killer? Yeah. The person who satisfies all the conditions as the true culprit of this case? It can only be you, Satsuki.
What? Satsuki's the killer?
Hooray! You finally came to think of me as the culprit. Only Yuki understands me. I'm so glad.
Wait, Maida, look at her now. She was picked as the culprit, but she looks rather content. Do you really think that Satsuki's the culprit? Think about it. The only one who can possibly do this is Satsuki. At the beginning of the trial, when Satsuki came out saying she was the culprit, we were trying to interrogate her to see if she really was. However, Satsuki had no idea of the letter that held Haruhiko and his destroyed right hand, which we thought the culprit would know. Of course, so we thought because of these reasons that she wasn't the real culprit. But take a look. The two things mentioned earlier are actually from Teruya's doing, not the culprits. Teruya didn't know that there was someone who killed Haruhiko by shooting him with a separate gun. So on the contrary, did the culprit know that Teruya sent a letter and destroyed his hand? Probably not. It would be impossible to know Tori's actions unless he himself told the culprit in advance. Then the real culprit would be a person who doesn't know why the letter was sent to Haruhiko's room and his right hand exploded, even though they didn't know why his hand ended up that way. And there is someone who meets these conditions. The person who confessed with their own voice that they killed Haru by shooting them, but it doesn't mention about the right hand nor the letter. And that person is Satsuki.
Well, not sure what you're saying because it's difficult, but anyways, that's right. It was me. I killed Haruhiko.
I think Maida-kun's reasoning is making sense, but I don't really understand Satsuki-chan's appearance being like that. Why did you do this, Satsuki-chan? Why do you like it so much when you're being named as a killer? Kobashi Kawakun, who's close to Satsuki-chan with her own hands, how can you say it so lightly that you killed him? Weren't you sad? She cried. She very much did cry. This was a thing that happened at the beginning of the investigation. She was crying. Okay. Think again, incompetent. Of course it's possible to commit the crime, as you said. But there's only that woman, but that is absolutely not the reaction of a killer.
I'm not crazy. It's very normal.
Actually, I don't know why Satsuki's reacting like that and keeps saying that she's the culprit. However, I can't think of any other reasoning. Maida's words make sense. In fact, at the time, Toria was not found to be the killer. It was enough to doubt Satsuki because of circumstances. Maybe as soon as the trial began, Satsuki couldn't be the culprit. We were stuck in stereotypes and we didn't think about it more thoroughly. Satsuki, I'll check once more. Are you the culprit? Haruhiko, you killed him with a gun in your hand?
Yeah, that's right. I'm the killer.
Wait, if you're the real culprit, can you explain why you're so positive? You were like one constantly appealed to him as the culprit.
I don't know. Just when the trial started, it became bothersome to make excuses, so that's why I just confessed. Now, if this decided, go ahead and execute me.
If you sound so professionally like that, it doesn't look like you're a criminal, on the contrary.
I have my doubts too. In the first place, Satsuki-chan doesn't have a personality to kill, even though she is resolute to this point. Like Mekaru said, it would rather seem like we're choosing the wrong killer and we're gonna die together.
But that's not it at all. I was just telling the truth.
What do I do? It's hard to make sure after identifying the killer. This attitude Satsuki has, it's a reaction that defies understanding, like Mekaru said. Even like this, can I still point Satsuki as the culprit? Everyone stop. Why are you thinking about a crime is possible, but the reaction is weird? Wake up already. The crime is impossible even for Satsuki.
Why is that?
But Kinjo, based on the testimony by Kurokawa, Haruhiko, Toria, and Satsuki entered the arsenal at dawn. Of them, Toria was the first to come out of the arsenal, and then Haruhiko entered the arsenal. Because he was walking through the corridor with Satsuki just before this point. If they entered the arsenals together, then that means perhaps it was at this time that Haruhiko used the gun, and this is likely to be true just by looking at the sounds of the arsenal opening and Satsuki coming out alone from the corridor. Back off, Maida. You said it with your own words just now. Satsuki kills Haruhiko and gets out of the arsenal all alone. If she came out, how did she lock the door then? Ah, it's a clue that you guys found and checked yourselves, right? It is impossible to block the door from the outside in that way. If so, the killer was in the arsenal, at least until Maida and Toria opened the door. However, Satsuki came out of the arsenal before this. What's the sprite I like? Does this sound like she could still be the killer? And if you look at Satsuki's reaction, that girl used a weapon, but it seems she doesn't know that the arsenal is blocked. So now what? Is Satsuki a ninja now? I mean, she is quite acrobatic. Like, I know what happens. She's not a ninja, but she could be. She's acrobatic.
What was that again?
Like, didn't she have that free time event where she was just like balancing on balls and stuff? Although, I think she might have not been that good at that. Never mind. I take it back.
Oh, wait, I know. Maybe you don't know. But what if you use the plank of wood as a barricade?
It seems you were asleep during the trial. How about it? Is there anyone who still thinks Satsuki's the culprit?
After listening to Kinjo, it seems that Satsuki is really not the culprit.
In the end, the problem lies with the arsenal door being blocked. If we solve this, there should be no problem even if Satsuki is the culprit. So this is the point in my original playthrough where I actually figured out what happens. I'm not gonna say it this time. I'm just gonna let you guys like follow along and figure it out. But this is when I actually solved it around here. That was the clue, is how would she do it? Or maybe I should just say, because I would have said normally, but like, I don't know. This is when I did figure it out originally though, that like what exactly happened. But I don't know, I feel like it's not fair to do it now because I know the answer. And although I was right in my guess, it's still like, I don't know. It was one of those situations where it's like, wait guys, crazy theory, but then I was right and then I was gloating about it forever. Now I'll let you guys figure it out along with the characters. In case you haven't figured it out yet, you know? Even if you think about it again, it is impossible to put a wood plank inside the arsenal from the outside with grenades on it. There's no time frame at all. I think the current prerequisites were all wrong. The public here probably won't solve this mystery. I'd rather go back from the very beginning and reorganize the case instead.
Well, that sounds nice and all, but I hate it when the trial's taking too long, don't you? It's not a warning, but better wrap things up soon.
The alibis of Dawn, Kuroha's testimony, Teru's behavior, the wood plank that blocked the arsenal, and Satsuki's incomprehensible reactions. Maybe... have we missed something else? Why does Satsuki have that attitude in the first place? Even Kinjo seems to be confused. Our reasoning is at the very core right now. I think Kinjo is right, blocking the door to Satsuki. This is a big problem. My mind is getting more and more complicated. Right now, this is the most important aspect of the case. The arsenal door, the wood plank, the grenades. How to block the door from the outside. Wait, you don't need to go back to the start. If you think about it a little, it should become clear. It's an utter waste of time. Wait a minute. What's the reason for the flash grenade and the smoke screen? At the moment the door opens, if the criminal inside escapes through the light and smoke, then the trick to block the arsenal from the inside is solved. But I'm afraid not. This was already mentioned. It's ridiculous when you think about Dark Circo's testimony at the very beginning. It's been seen that Teruya Otori and Satsuki Uranami, both of them came out of the arsenal. Inside the arsenal. The last one who came out was Satsuki, I'm sure. But opening the door and coming out of the arsenal means the door was not blocked until that last moment.
Well, in a word, doesn't that mean that the body of Haruhiko was left alone in the arsenal until just before Maida and I opened the door together in the morning?
Well, what does that... It doesn't make sense. It wasn't that the body was alive and blocked the door alone? Oh no, this is starting to sound creepy somehow. Huh? Tyra, wait a second, what did you just say? That it started to get creepy? Not that, before that. A body moved and blocked the door, like a zombie from a movie. Well, of course it won't. Such health sciences.
Unscientific. It's like that bear in front of our very eyes. It's unscientific.
Oh, what the heck did you say? All of you know I'm cutting edge science product.
The body moved and blocked the door. Of course, a reality like that does not exist, but as Teresa said earlier, it was Haru alone. He remained in the arsenal until the end. No way, yeah. Could it be? The person who blocked the door to the arsenal, that person's identity is... It's Haru! Oh boy, time to do the game in Korean. Let's see. Oh boy. It's okay. I have my guide. They move so fast. I know which one it is. Oh boy, I can't wait to do this stupid panic talk action again. That literally killed my fingers last time. But I did get it second try for the first time ever. Okay, this one. I really like that they just don't translate this part. Like, that's so funny to me. Okay, it's this one. No, it's this character. It's this character. Hello? Okay. It's this one. No, it's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. Help me. At least my cursor doesn't also jerk around. So that would make this even harder. I do like this like really nice lawn gap we get. Okay, hold still. Hold still. Okay, and then this is the last one. This one looks like a letter O. It's you. Oh. I assume this says Haru in Korean. Okay, it's you. Come here. No, come here. Come here. Come here. Ah! Oh, thank God. I hate these mini games. Okay. That's it. It has to be only him. The identity of the person who blocked the door to the arsenal.
Really, Maida-kun? Do you know who the killer is? I didn't think you were about to say it was Kobashi Kawakin just because the body moved, right? I was just joking.
No, listen. No, thanks to Tyra, I could come up with something else. That's right. The only one that could block the arsenal door was no one else other than Haruhiko.
Haruhiko was the culprit.
You're saying that he committed suicide?
No, you dumb idiot. He just blocked the door, guys. He just blocked the door. Wait. Have you forgotten? As Monokuma said, suicide is forbidden, and if you kill yourself in any way or form, he was treated as a dog death. Haruhiko was murdered by someone other than himself. That's why Monokuma treated this as a case, and a class trial was held like this. No, Maida never said he committed suicide. Thank you! I didn't say that. He said the person who blocked the door to the arsenal was Haruhiko. What? Like Maida said, the person who killed Haruhiko with a gun is the killer, Satsuki. But it was impossible for Satsuki. The task of blocking the arsenal, but was possible for Haruhiko. How about it? This means the reason why Satsuki can't be the culprit. It's now gone. No, that can't be possible. The fact that Haruhiko blocked the door to the arsenal is just a simple assumption. It may be possible in context, and there's no evidence of this. No evidence? No, there's proof of this. I don't mean ill will just because Haru blocked the door without any evidence. But Kinjo wouldn't be unaware of this evidence. Why does he argue so much? No, let's not bother right now. Now the case comes first. The evidence that Haru may have blocked the arsenal door is... It's nice remembering everything, because I actually got that one wrong the first time. I thought it was like Kinjo's testimony. And my theory at the time is because Kinjo's testimony, it's basically like he didn't die immediately. So I was like, if he didn't die immediately, that means he could have just like gone up and like done it. That was wrong. It was this. And that was like one of those questions. I was like really annoyed because I'm like, it really could be multiple things. Like it's not very clear. But I got it right this time because I knew. There's evidence. It's the blood. Blood? The blood that splattered in the arsenal. Everyone has seen it, right? Don't you think it was a little strange looking?
Oh, it certainly felt a little weird. It felt like, well, you know, like it was a road made by blood, rather than a blood spot.
That's right. It looks like bloodstains wandering around in the arsenal. After Haruhiko was shot, wouldn't it explain he was bleeding while looking for boards, flash, and smokescreen grenades? It is plausible, but would it be compelling that Haruhiko Kobashi himself locked the door of the arsenal simply by looking at his blood? It's not reasoning, but a realm of speculation. But it's not a contradiction. Only Haruhiko has a certain possibility, and even if the culprit dragged the body, there's no reason for it. Only leaves evidence behind. No, it is a contradiction. Kinjo, I can see that all Maida's words were all true, but Haruhiko was murdered by a very cruel killer. Let me ask a simple question. Why in the world would the victim help elaborating more tricks for the killer if not to leave evidence of their crime? The answer is, you don't know about that. But if you wander around about emotional things and look at only the information left in the case, it makes sense that it is Haruhiko that just closed the door even with the process of elimination method. This is not about being emotional. This is about the victim helping the killer. There can't be such thing. Stockholm syndrome. I don't believe any of that crap. That kind of thing is psychotic. And he says that with that face. Okay. Even that requires the premise that the killer has some kindness and gentle behavior towards their victim. But does this reflect reality? Did the killer show kindness to Haruhiko? No, rather they murdered them in cold blood. Maida's reasoning is the worst, not to mention forced and far-fetched. Hey, what is this Stockholm syndrome? Oh my god, you're so dumb. You're so dumb. And now we're gonna have to explain what Stockholm syndrome is to this girl. It's when victims are held hostages by a robber or kidnapper, but rather they think of them as their saviors. It's like a phenomenon that antagonizes rescuers, police, etc., and they take the criminal side. This reminds me, I don't know if anyone watching this has ever played Zero Escape, but in that series, they do this a lot. Well, they'll be like talking about something, and then they'll be like, what's Schrodinger's cat? And then you have to listen to them explain Schrodinger's cat for like ever. And they do this about just so much like random ass like stuff. Like, oh, what's this like strange theory? Let me explain. I actually am an expert in it. And it's just like always so random and it kind of cracks me up. Kinjo, it's weird. If you were the usual you would rather have ruled out such emotional things and reasoned it out by considering the logical situations. You said I was being emotional? This is natural. You just don't see it. If the victim, who deserves salvation, agrees to the obvious evil, it becomes impossible to reason with. This choice is not logical here. Saving them is what I have to do. I can't leave alone your pretentious reasoning. And besides that, there are loopholes in Maida's reasoning. I'll just do what I have to do. I'll refute you. This one's actually really easy, and if I remember correctly, I got this one right away. I'll correct that ridiculous reasoning, Maida. What the hell are you doing, Kinjo? You know it's best that there's no more to refute here. You're making an unacceptable reasoning from my point of view. That can't happen. And it shouldn't happen. And if there's anything to refute, then I'll do it, Maida. Skippin' / psycho cop. Yes, I love that. I love this so much. That never gets old. Say something that makes sense, Maida. What if... This is what it is. Besides, if you listen to Iranami, she tried to kill Haru by herself. She shot in self-defense. It's not enough to leave more clues on the culprit. Why would they help the killer with his own death? However, it's impossible for Satsuki to block the door to the arsenal, Tsurugi. You know this, right? At that point, it was only Haruhiko in the arsenal who could have done this. The unnatural bloodstains support this fact. These are just blood spots. It's possible to kill and move the body. First, Haruhiko was shot in the chest. Without seeing anything, instant death. Ron, you said so yourself, he couldn't die instantly. And that's why I got this so easily, is because I used that for a different one and it was wrong. Oh man, I think, like, God Uehara's skill exists because that, I feel like that would be so much harder without it. If you ever played this game on your own, I recommend maxing him out just for that skill. It's because then I can actually read the dialogue and I don't have to like be like button mashing, which everyone knows I love. Just kidding, I don't. Okay, Kinjo, that's wrong. Haruhiko did not die immediately. You literally said so. You can say what you want, Maida. As I said, Haruhiko had his chest pierced. Since the bullet hit his body with a wound like that, he would have no choice but die immediately. No, Haruhiko did not die immediately. His chest was struck, but the bullet penetrated through Haruhiko without getting stuck in his body. Because the amount of shock is relatively less than one that gets stuck, it would have been impossible for him to move. Speculations. Anyone can make that claim. Stop it now, Kinjo. This is not speculation. It was you, Tsurugi Kinjo, who told me this.
Gah.
I'm sorry, that noise just is so stupid.
Gah.
Incompetent, is that true? If it's about the bullet pierced, of course I'm well aware of it, but was it the cop who told you about this? Yes. During the investigation, I thought he had died because he was shot in the chest at first, but Kinjo told me. I heard that his death might have not been immediate, but he could have trouble breathing, so he was able to move for a little bit more time. That's... At the time, I just said it as a guess only. Kinjo-kun, why are you arguing so much? In this case, it's like Kinjo-kun is the culprit. We named Satsuki-chan the culprit, and Kobashi-kawa-kun did the back work, but why are you still arguing so much? Shut up, criminal! Haruhiko was murdered. He also was labeled as the victim that I had to protect. A victim who deserved protection was actually on the killer's side? That... something like that. It can't be. Kinjo? Yeah, I can't listen to this far-fetched logic. According to your logic, Kisen Tamori was also a victim, but in reality, she was actually a terrifying bitch. I love you, Bekaru. You're so savage. He was planning a crime. Are you saying that you would tolerate Tamori's murder plan? That's wrong. In that case, it was due to the accident, not the victim. Also, refuting such a subject to the incompetent, which it was, Haruhiko Kawashikawa tried to kill Satsuki Iranami. It makes no sense to help him in a situation where it leaves more evidence. To the culprit? Ah, but look here. If the victim you had to protect was the reverse toward after trying to kill someone, they are very good citizens indeed. No. I am... What the hell am I for so many days? For... Kinjo? And then he faints. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen.
Kinjo.
Kinjo-kun is down. Kinjo, wake up. Kinjo.
Hey, hold it right there. We're still on trial. I don't admit going out of the courtroom at your own will.
But Kinjo is...
Oh, this is a headache. Fainting and getting upset during a trial. It's taboo to get down from the courtroom during a trial. But I guess it can't be helped. Get your goon, I'll take him to the dormitory. You guys don't have to move. Stay in your seats. Everyone's been waiting for a while, right? Kinjo-kun arrived safely to his dorm bed, so don't worry about it, and let's continue the trial. But this doesn't make things fun. Now Kinjo-kun is outside the courtroom. The fact that he was sent out means that he wasn't the culprit. Now the number of people is decreased by 1. Dun dun dun.
Kinjo, I'm sure he'll be okay.
That's the first time that Kinjo looked like that.
As Monokuma said, we're still on trial. Forget about him for now. He's not even dead, is he? Alright.
So, where did we leave off?
The culprit is Satsuki. She couldn't block the door to the arsenal. Only Haruhiko. Is it okay to make this decision then? Does anyone have a different opinion? Different opinion? I think that's the only thing we have. There's no disagreement. Of course, it's logical, as Kenjo Tsurugi said. I also don't understand why Haruhiko Kabashikawa, in the victim's position, helped the killer.
Well, I don't know either. After all, it's like we won't get a different decision now, right? And if you name me as the culprit, there will be no complaints and no one will be dissatisfied.
Wait, not yet.
Huh? What else?
You said that there was no reason to disagree. Why did Haruhiko Kabashikawa help the killer? And why this killer is so excited? The same goes for me. Satsuki, the reasoning about this case is over, perhaps only looking in at the reasoning result. I can't argue that Satsuki's the culprit. However, why? Why call yourself the killer? Are you trying to die?
Why do you ask? Well, it's like I said earlier, it became a nuisance, so that's a good reason, right?
I'm not good at lying, but I think I did better than Satsuki-chan. Don't mess around. You'll be executed if you let this go. But if you die, the truth of this case will remain as a matter that will be solved. I'm a woman who doesn't give up until I know 100% the problem I've challenged. Please tell us, Satsuki, if you really are the culprit, you have a duty to take responsibility for your actions.
You tell me, when I thought I was the culprit, all I could do was get blamed.
What are you trying to hide? Let us hear it, Satsuki.
I don't know. I'm just the culprit. That's all I am.
Well, she started shouting.
Baka.
Satsuki? As long as she stays like this, we'll have to force you to open your mouth, Satsuki, about the secret of this incident when which Haru was involved, and the reason for your actions in claiming you were the real culprit all along. Oh, okay. I actually somehow didn't die. Like, I died once. I got it second try, though, originally. Hopefully, I'll get it first try this time. Like, I have a method. Time to quiet down the clown. Ugh. Okay. The thing that's really annoying about this is it's like it doesn't respond to the reload button. Otherwise, like, I feel like I'd be a little bit better at it.
I don't know anything.
No! Dude, it freaking didn't hit the button. Okay, well, I'll just do it again. Okay. Okay. I was doing so well, and then it freaking, like, didn't reload. That's what the issue is. It's like, no! Okay, whatever. Bro, this is, I literally got the second try last time. Okay. Well, at least I have the save file where I got it, so if I do end up having to restart, I don't have to, you know. Ugh! It was not this hard last time. Bro, I'm literally gonna die. I don't know why I don't know. The worst minigame in this entire thing. This is a hard one. How am I supposed to do that? It's literally impossible. Okay. It's literally impossible. Except I've gotten this before. Okay. Oh, I should have just dubbed it over. Why did I agree to do this again? I was like, well, I got it the first time, like, instantly. So, you know, maybe this time. It's like they made it harder somehow. I don't know how. Dude. They make this so unnecessarily hard. It just doesn't help because the freaking reload thing doesn't go when I press it. Reload. Okay. It's gonna go on this side. No, it's not. It's gonna be here. See how it's not reloading? Even though I'm pressing it like but. Oh my god. rude! Okay. How did I ever get this? It's that last one. I don't understand. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Like, literally my thought process was, oh, I got this really quickly last time. I can redo it. Nope. Apparently I can't. Oh my god. Okay. We got it. Oh my god. The reasoning isn't over yet, Satsuki.
Huh? It is already over.
No, it's not. There's one more thing we've overlooked and crossed. Does anyone know?
Was there anything like that?
As Satsuki-chan said, wasn't the reasoning over? It's about the pistol that destroyed Haruhiko Kabashikawa's right hand. That's right. Because we decided it was Teruya's doing earlier, we went over it. Actually, if you think a little bit, it wasn't Teruya that destroyed Haruhiko's right hand.
What are you saying? That makes no sense, Maida. I replaced the bullet and Haruhiko grabbed it as intended and his right hand was destroyed.
Stupid fool. If what you say is true, the gun he touched should have been shattered as well. Why would it remain intact? Oh, right. Come to think of it, even when Otsuri-kun was rushed as the culprit, he said he didn't know why it ended up like that.
Well, that's right. I was freaking out for excuses. When I think about it, again, if Haru used the gun as I intended, the gun should have blown up.
Teruya, are you sure you didn't touch the two guns?
Right, I can assure you this. Trust me, I only touched one gun unconditionally.
Wait a minute, then won't it get even more weird? Unless Teruya-kun did it, why did Kabashikawa-kun get caught in the same trap Otsuri-kun did and injured his right hand? That can't be deduced by us alone, except for one person, Satsuki.
I don't know.
No, you most likely know why. Satsuki, don't you remember at the beginning of the class trial you said Haruhiko tried to shoot you? And then you grabbed a gun and shot him in self-defense and ended up killing him. From here on out, it's just my thoughts. If Satsuki's words were true, wouldn't it have been Haruhiko that knew that the gun would explode? He knew it was going to explode?
Deliberately breaking his hand? Was he trying to commit suicide?
Maybe so.
Ugh!
Let me tell you, this is just unfounded imagination. Just listen for now. I don't know how someone changed the bullets in the same manner that Teruya did, but it probably was Haruhiko himself who did it. Since the second half of the trial, the word suicide continued to rattle, because this case was just too weird to see it as an ordinary murder scenario. But in the end, Haruhiko did not commit suicide because Monokuma doesn't deal with suicides even if he wanted to commit the act. He wouldn't have done it because it just ends up as a wasted death. So perhaps he thought about it like this. Was Haruhiko trying to save Satsuki? Tried to save her? Deliberately aiming at Satsuki. The gun that explodes when shooting. Surprised, Satsuki shoots in response. Even if she shot the floor, she doesn't get hurt and only his hands fly away. And because Satsuki's shot hit him, his death wasn't treated as a suicide. Later, when Satsuki leaves in surprise, he remains alone in the arsenal. He himself does the extra effort to make the case even more complicated. Like, for example, blocking the door to the arsenal and messing with the guns. Well, of course, there's no evidence of this, it's just my imagination. The fact that Haruhiko blocked the door seemed to be trying to help the killer, so I thought about it as a basis.
Haruhiko, in order to save Satsuki, means he gave up his life.
Hold on, that's plausible, but you always finish with the line of your imagination. There's a 0% chance that the incompetent's words are true. Oh, why? I was listening to Maida-kun and I was thinking that was the truth. Think first. He gave up his life and tried to save someone else. Humans aren't that simple. They would be afraid to do it. Even in an ordinary circumstance, but it would be even more unreasonable in an extreme situation where there's no food and living like us. But not long ago, Hatano, for Tyra, she threw away her life. I am Chan. That's not the case now. At that time, even the most extreme situation wasn't there, and she didn't save Akane Tyra with 100% pure intentions. Did you forget? Ayame Hatano clearly had a desire to save Akane Tyra, but she also wanted to escape from here. She committed murder with such a sloppy heart, although she eventually revealed her true face to us. However, in the case of Haruhiko Kabashikawa, like Ayame Hatano, there's not a single reason for themselves. According to the incompetent, he gave up his life 100% purely to only save Satsuki Uranami. No matter how close Haruhiko Kabashikawa was with Satsuki Uranami, it would be absurd to say that they were family members and gave up their lives in these extreme circumstances. Of course, if that's true, then it deserves my respects. I know what I said was an unfounded idea. You didn't really have to refute it like that, but... Of course, I'm not saying it's absolutely impossible like that crazy cop. I don't think so. But it is absurd. If he had been thinking of Satsuki Uranami like that, he would have done something earlier, but I don't have a clue. But if Maida-kun's words are wrong, how do you describe the reason for Kabashikawa-kun's right hand? I'll have to think about that more. As expected, it's not going to work out the way I thought. It seems like it's too absurd, as Makuru says, and it's very difficult for someone to make a decision in order to save her life, to the point of even giving up his life.
Anyways, there's no objections that Satsuki's the culprit, is there? Do we really want to go over Haruhiko's right hand?
I'd like things to get wrapped up as soon as possible. I'm getting bored of it.
No, but we have to know the truth of the case.
It's true.
What?
Yuki, are you psychic? That's extremely as if you've read someone's mind.
What are you talking about?
I don't feel like an adult to keep trying to hide it and be a nuisance to all of you. I don't think the trial will ever be over at this rate. And as Yuki said, as long as you commit a murder, you gotta be responsible for it.
Satsuki?
Where should I start? Oh yeah, since Kobeizun came to my room early in the morning. You know, until this moment came, I couldn't imagine how everything played out.